Welcome back, book talk enthusiasts, to another exciting episode of Dragons Spaceships, where we shine a spotlight on all the sci-fi and fantasy books that are taking the platform by storm. I, of course, am your host, Brandy, and today we are diving into a dark, intoxicating world full of magic, danger, and undeniable chemistry with Quicksilver by Callie Hart. If you're a fan of dark fantasy, enemies to lovers tension, and a story packed with intrigue and passion, then this one's for you. Before we dive into Quicksilver, though, let's take a look at a trending book in the fantasy world that has been making waves. Have you heard about A Tempest of Tea by Hafsa Faisal? Released earlier this year, this book is being described as Peaky Blinders meets Six of Crows, with a high-stakes heist, blood-drinking elite, and a tea house that is not as it seems. If you love morally gray characters and a lush world building, definitely check this one out. All right. Let's talk about Quicksilver, the first book in Callie Hart's Fae and Alchemy series. And let me tell you, this one is dark, addictive, and absolutely dripping with tension. If you're a fan of morally gray characters, high-stakes power struggles, and a romance that walks the razor's edge between passion and destruction, then buckle up because Quicksilver delivers it all. This book throws us into a world where alchemy isn't just a science, it's a deadly game of power and survival. The realm is ruled by two dominant factions, the Fae, who are cunning, powerful, and nearly immortal, and the alchemists, who rely on their intelligence and skill to manipulate magic in a more scientific way. The balance between these groups is tense at best and violently unstable at worst. The Fae have long ruled from the shadows, using their unnatural beauty and devastating abilities to control politics, trade, and war. Meanwhile, the alchemists, despite their mastery of potions, metals, and transformation magic, remain vulnerable to the raw, untamed magic of the Fae. But what happens when a new force threatens this delicate balance? That's where our story begins. Our protagonist, Sable Quinn, wants nothing to do with Fae politics. She's an alchemist first and foremost, a scientist and a survivor who knows better than to get tangled in a game she can't win. But when an unexpected discovery puts her in the crosshairs of the deadliest Fae warrior alive, she realizes she might not have a choice. Enter Carrion Fox. Yes, his name alone should tell you exactly what kind of dangerously irresistible man we are dealing with. Carrion is dark, ruthless, and unreadable, a warrior who has spent centuries serving the Fae court, eliminating threats with terrifying efficiency. He's not someone you bargain with, and yet Sable might be the first person to ever challenge him and survive. Forced into an uneasy alliance, Sable and Carrion are pulled into a web of power plays, ancient secrets, and a growing attraction that neither one of them can afford. But if there's one thing you should know about Fae romance, it's that the more irresistible the connection, the more dangerous the consequences. So let's do a character breakdown. We have Sable Quinn. Sable is brilliant, resourceful, and stubborn as hell. She spent her entire life trying to stay off the radar, knowing that in a world where magic and manipulation rule, being noticed is a death sentence. She's one of the few alchemists who understand the true nature of Fae magic, which make her a target for both sides. Despite her refusal to be a pawn in this world, she finds herself caught in something far bigger than she ever anticipated. Then we have Carrion Fox. Carrion is the embodiment of controlled violence, a man who has spent centuries being both feared and respected. He's not just any Fae, he's a warrior who has seen kingdoms rise and fall. And he knows that alliances are just another form of betrayal waiting to happen. But something about Sable unnerves him. And if you love brooding, dangerous love interests who are one wrong move away from destruction, Carrion is your guy. Now let's talk about Kingfisher. He's a wild card in this entire equation. Ally, enemy, something in between. Kingfisher has his own moves, and they don't always align with Carrion's or Sable's. He adds an unpredictable energy to the story, keeping both our protagonists and the readers on edge. But okay, now let's talk about the romance in Quicksilver because, wow, this book delivers peak enemies to lovers tension, and I mean the slow burn, devastatingly angsty kind that leaves you on the edge of your seat. Sable and Carrion are at odds from the start. He's a deadly fae warrior. She's an alchemist who knows better than to trust someone like him. But when circumstances force them to work together, they begin a dangerous game of push and pull. It's full of sharp banter, electrifying chemistry, and moments that will leave you breathless. And the best part? It's not an easy love story. This isn't some quick, I hated you for 5 minutes, but now I love you type of romance. There's real conflict, real danger, and real consequences to their growing attraction. The stakes aren't just emotional, they're life or death. So why should you pick up Quicksilver? Simple. It's got everything you want in a dark romantic fantasy. A dangerously captivating world full of power struggles and dark magic and forbidden knowledge. A fierce heroine who refuses to be a pawn. A brooding, morally gray fae warrior who is just as terrifying as he is irresistible. Slow burn, enemies to lovers romance with unbearable tension. A magic system that feels fresh and immersive, blending alchemy with fae enchantments. And unpredictable twists and turns that will keep you guessing. This book is for fans of high-stakes fantasy romance, the kind that keeps you up till 3 a.m. muttering just one more chapter. If you love books like the Plated Prisoner series, Kingdom of the Wicked, or A Court of Thorns and Roses, you're gonna be obsessed with Quicksilver. And the best part, this is only book 1. That means there's more to come, and trust me, you're gonna want more when you hit the last page. Callie Hart delivers a dark, intoxicating fantasy that grabs you from page 1 and doesn't let go. The characters are compelling, the romance is intense, and the world is immersive. If you are looking for your next obsessive, can't-put-it-down fantasy romance, Quicksilver is it. Let me know, have you read Quicksilver? What are your thoughts on Carry-On and Saple's dynamic? And are you ready for book 2, Brimstone? Drop your thoughts in the comments or on social media. I'd love to hear what you have to say. But don't go yet, because now it's a time for some exciting book news in today's Dragon's Roar. Attention audiobook lovers, the audiobook for City of Lies and Legends by Kayla Edwards, the highly anticipated 3rd book in the series, has officially dropped. Released on February 25th, this installment brings the world of magic and characters to life in an immersive listening experience. If you've been waiting to continue the journey in audio format, now is your chance to dive back into it. Let me know. Will you be picking this one up? Now let's move to the Sorcerer's Scrolls, and where we can talk about an upcoming fantasy or sci-fi book that's headed your way. Fantasy fans, the wait is over. The Black Witch Chronicles has officially reached its epic conclusion. We are going to talk about The Dryad Storm by Laurie Forrest. The highly anticipated final book in the Black Witch Chronicles is out now as of January 7th, and if you haven't picked it up yet, now is the time. In The Dryad Storm, Ellerin Gardner Grey must fully embrace her destiny as a prophesized Black Witch to save Aretha from total destruction. With the Shadow's forces growing stronger, the war is raging on all sides. Armies are advancing, alliances are crumbling, and shadow demons are rising. The fate of the world hangs in the balance as the bearers of the Wand of Myth prepare for their final stand. If you love intense magic, powerful characters, and high-stakes battles, this is a must-read conclusion that delivers all the twists and epic moments fans have been waiting for. So what are you waiting for? Go check out The Dryad Storm today and let me know. How do you feel about the way the series ended? Well, that's it for today's episode of Dragons and Spaceships. We took a deep dive into Quicksilver by Callie Hart, a book full of dark fae magic, slow burn tension, and high-stakes intrigue. If you love strong heroines, brooding fae warriors, and plots that keep you guessing, you need to pick this one up ASAP. And I want to hear from you. Have you read Quicksilver yet? Are you excited for Brimstone? Drop your thoughts in the comments or on social media. Don't forget to follow Dragons and Spaceships for more book discussions and recommendations and reviews. Until next time, happy reading, stay curious, and may your TBR pile never stop growing.